You ready, yeah?
Okay, good.
It's man like Dan. Come on! Welcome to Melanated and Proud. Today, we've got 5 other lovely guests. Promise, Daniel, Hawa, Reese, and Yasha. So, Promise, quickly plug yourself in. What do you do?
My name is Promise. I've got a debating brand called Tuesday Topics. We're on YouTube, Tuesday Topics Podcast, Instagram at Tuesday Topics, and Twitter, Tuesday_Topics.
Lovely.
My name's Daniel. I run SYN Entertainment / Conversations. So we also have a conversations page where we do podcasts as well. But as my full-time day job, I am a software developer. So you can find us at SYN_Conversations on Instagram. And you can also find us on Twitter as SYN_Entertain for events. So watch us.
Jeez.
Follow too.
You know what I mean?
My name is Hawa. I'm a dental hygienist. You can follow me on Smile with Hawa for your dental hygiene tips, and also you can follow me on YouTube as well if you want to know what I do.
Lovely.
My name's Reese. I'm a MA student specialising in Black women's literature. You can find me on my writing page, which is Reese Ash Writes, Reese with an S. And yeah.
My name's Nyasha. I'm a teacher. And you can find me on the Teachers Podcast, which is on Instagram, and also on, coming very soon in the week, YouTube and all the other platforms. So plug into the Teacher's Surgery, where we'll be discussing hot topics about parenting and learning and teaching.
I'm special.
Thank
So
you.
I've got my lovely melanated people beside me.
Come on.
So we're going to get straight into it. So do you guys feel like you're in competition with other black people
100%.
at work?
100%.
Right, tell me why.
The reason why I say that is because I feel a lot of the time, especially coming from my own background as well, I feel like it's good seeing a lot of black technicians, like black tech coming through. But I feel at the same time, I've had this discussion with my mum before. We think that basically all the time, black people are in competition with each other. I feel like there's just not enough space for you to be who you want to be, because there's always going to be somebody that wants to be above you in a sense, right? So in my opinion, I feel like that is a problem that needs to be addressed quickly. Like we need to be working together. We shouldn't be working against each other. You know, we can all succeed in this. It's not about me being above you. It's not, you know, come on. Like, at the end of the day, I don't want to disadvantage anybody. If anybody wants to come through, I'll give them that opportunity. If you want to say you want to work in tech, I'll give you the right resources and whatever. Just let me know and I'll plug you. So that's what I just got to say on that matter.
What do you guys think?
Not for me. It's not competitive because in dentistry there's not a lot of black people in it. In fact, when you do see someone who's black in it, you're like, yes! So it's more like, it's not the same. It's more like we want more, more black people, because then it means that we can educate more black people as well. But yeah, no, total opposite.
I agree. Obviously, I'm not in like a working professional world right now, but in terms of my studies, like considering the course I do, like literature, there's not a lot of black people. Like there's barely any black women, but let alone like black men. That's like it's a unicorn. So, when I do see other black people do my subject, I'm like, wow. And I was even so even I was talking to my lecturer and I was saying, like, we were talking about how even in academia as a whole, like there's not many black lecturers in the whole country. I think there's maybe like 5% who are just black, so that's black women and black men. Wow. So then like trickle that down to like separating by gender, it's like black female lecturers is maybe like, I don't know the percentages, but it's less than 5%. So yeah, I would say in terms of academia and in terms of university, seeing other black people in my subject or seeing other black people, just seeing a black lecturer, I just like I get excited. There's no competition. I'm just like, please, more people come. So yeah.
Yeah, and definitely not in competition with my people. Come on. I just want to see everyone progress, do well. Definitely not. No competition.
So that's the thing. Do you feel like there's no need for us to feel like we're in competition? Because it's not like how it was years ago, like decades ago, because there's more doors that have been opened for us as people. So do you feel like people need to come away from that sort of mindset that you're in competition? Because generally there's so many other people that look like you that have the same sort of roles with you.
Yeah, I don't see why we should be in competition. I think we've got a wide, like, you might have a podcast. You might be like, you've got a podcast, I've got a podcast, somebody else got a doesn't mean that we're all doing different things. We're all doing different topics. We're all doing, in terms of even employment or what we're studying. Why should we be in competition? I think the world is big enough, you know, and we don't have to all stay in one particular area. The world is so big. So I don't really see why we have to be in any form of competition.
I kind of have a theory. Much like Reese, I'm also a student. So I don't really have that experience in the workplace as such. But my theory is, and please, guys that are working, tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah. But I feel like, especially if you're in the exact same department as another black person, and let's say it's just you two, you feel that competition because you feel like if for whatever reason they've gone above their quota and hired 2 black people, you want to be the one that they're definitely not going to get rid of. I feel like that. I could just be chatting the most because obviously I don't work, but that's how I see it, and that's why I think black people in the exact same industry, exact same field, feel that kind of competition between each other.
It's an interesting one. I mean, I think for me personally, I want to see more of us rather than less of us. Yeah, because the fact that it is so inaccessible for not only like black women not really in tech that much. I want to see more faces of black women in tech, but also to see more of us in tech as well. You know, I feel it's a big exploding industry where so many of us can really take advantage of this, but for some reason not many want to go through it. For some reason I don't understand why. Is it because there's just not enough encouragement? Is there not enough education? Is there not enough like support? There should be something that should be encouraging with us. I will happily let people know these are the right routes you need to take to be able to get into the tech world. It's not that difficult if you really think about it. It's just applying yourself. So that's just it really. It's just talking to the right people, getting this kind of information, absorbing it, and then being able to apply it yourself. If not many of them are going to do it, then there's not going to be enough of us. There's not going to be enough representation. And quite frankly, I find that's quite sad because I want to see more of us at work, and I want to see more of us talk about things where we can make more changes. It shouldn't be me talking, it should be all of us talking as a collective.
That's a big point, man. So like, do you feel like it's good to be close with other black people at work as well?
100%. Like, it's a great thing at my workplace where we have a network where we can all congregate together and we can all talk about issues that affects us, but we could also be happy to tell other people what issues are, and our company is happy to listen to that, and they're going to adapt to that, and they want to change because they're willing to change. They know they make mistakes, but they want to learn from their mistakes as well. They want to be able to change that, and it's great educating people, because if you don't educate others, then how are you two going to be able to work together? Because as a workplace, you need to be able to all work together collectively. So it's a great thing. It's an exciting time to be where I am right now.
Okay. Your company sounds cool.
From a university perspective, this is the first year where I have not really cared about how I look or what I'm wearing during seminars. Now, I know this is a bit off topic, but I'm bringing it back. So I made a rule. Whenever I'm going to a seminar, I never wear a do-rag or I never wear a tracksuit. And I never wear them together. Just because I know what the implication could be. So I say, you know what, not gonna do it. This is the first year I said I don't care. So I was in one of my seminars and another black guy, do-rag, tracksuit came in. Now, my immediate thought was, maybe we don't need to be friends, but I feel like we need to at least be cool. Because I feel, and this could go back to us victimizing ourselves, but I feel like if everyone's going to put us in the same kind of box because we look the same, then we're going to have to represent this box very well. Because if you're not pulling up your end, like you're not doing the seminar work, the teacher asks you questions and you don't know what's happening, you're never really giving in your, like, so if you're pulling us back, then we should get together so I can hold you accountable, you can hold me accountable. But I see what you lot are saying in the sense of it shouldn't necessarily be like that. I should go to uni in my do-rag and tracksuit and just be myself. I shouldn't have to feel like we're going to be grouped together anyway, so we might as well group ourselves together. And you see what I mean?
It's interesting you say that.
It's your own degree, like it's your own books. You come to study your own books.
Yeah.
Like
That's
his
so
grade is
true.
not going to be your grade.
Yeah.
So
100%.
whether you're in a tracksuit or not, whether he's in a tracksuit or not, whether he talks in a seminar, whether you talk in a seminar, at the end of the day, when you do your essays, when you do your exams, it's all separate. It's all going to be you. At the end of the day, what you hold in your hand at your graduation is not going to be what he holds in his hand.
And it's not the whole Black People certificate as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just your certificate.
Yeah.
Study your books.
He's got a point though. Okay, maybe not in a education setting, but in a workplace, like you're really having an impact on their representation. So if you feel like someone isn't pulling their part or they need a bit of help or something, do you feel like we have a duty to say something to another black person?
I don't think. I mean, it depends on if you think that they're going to actually understand what you're saying, or instead maybe they're going to think you're just a hater, or you're trying to be jealous, or you're bad mind, or you think you're better. I think the most important thing is it's about yourself. You know, I think how do you represent yourself at work? You know, are you always quarrelling with people and shouting or late? Are you always on your phone? Are you all those things that bring that could potentially hinder your success in the job that you're in, or even at uni? You know, I don't think you should always have to make somebody like you hold other people accountable. I think it's about yourself, isn't it?
I've got a question. Do you lot ever feel like you are, I don't know if poster child is the right word, but I'll just use that. Do you ever feel like you're the poster child for the black culture, black community in your workplace?
It's a tough one. I feel like for me, the kind of reception I had, people said I was like kind of like a breath of fresh air in a way. Where at times at lunchtime I'll have my do-rag on, and people thinking, what's this guy doing? What do they do? You know, like there's a couple of brothers at work thinking, we weren't doing that before you came here. And I told them, well, I just want to be myself. And I think the most important thing is as an identity, like your identity should correlate with the identity at work. It should work. It should be collaborative, right? So they need to be able to accept you for who you are as much as they want you to be who you are at work too, right? You want to accept them as the company. They want to accept you as the employee. So for them to see me like that, but also be productive as well, makes sense where, we should let black people feel comfortable. Whereas like black women could come in with, we should all come in for natural hair right if we wanted to. We could do that. Or braids, or we could wear kente, or that's something, like just be yourself, like be your unique self at the end of the day, because you're only selling yourself short if you only want to be part of a corporate image.
Yes, exactly.
But it's interesting you say that because before you couldn't do that. So are you saying that now is the time that we should be more
now should be
transparent?
celebrated?
Yeah.
Now should be the time where you should take full advantage of who you are, make it clear, this is who I am. If you don't accept that, that's a problem you have, right? And if you want to be the best self of you, you also want to bring the best self of you to work. You want to also show, I could be my full productive self if you allow me to be myself at work. If you can't do that, then you are not going to be your best self at work. Right? You're not going to give your best self. So what's the point? You need to at least show that, I've got something I can offer at the end of the day. If you can't do that, then it's just redundant.
Because if you think about it, there's so much code switching and like you trying to fit into the organization. So do you feel like we're actually losing our identity at work?
I don't know, because I think that, it's just a bit like when you answer the phone to different people, you switch your voice, don't you? Is that a bad thing? Or is it just that, you know that you can't talk to your mum a certain way or your dad, but you might talk to your friends in a certain way, and then you can't talk to the doctor in a certain way. Do you get what I mean? So it's about, and I think that's a unique quality in all of us, to be able to be adaptable in our environment,
But now do you feel like we've got a duty to educate them? Because by being yourself, they're going to see a new side to you. They're going to be like, right, okay, some black people wear do-rags and they're still fine, that there's nothing wrong with them. So like you're really changing the narrative by being yourself. So do you feel like we've actually got a duty to actually be ourselves? Because if you're not being yourself and in the other situation, you're yourself, they're going to be confused. Like, what message are you actually portraying? So
No, but then if you're like a teacher, like for example, I can't come in to a lesson with a baseball cap and that. I can't walk into the class like that. So, but you know, so I have to dress a certain way. So I just think that you will always have to change slightly. But one thing I was just thinking about is that I remember an incident at work where somebody said, okay, so I was downstairs in the massive staff room, and then somebody was slagging off the one of the managers who was black, and who was African, but in their eyes was African, in terms, because they weren't born in England. And the person turned around and said, oh well, she's an angry African woman. And I just thought, right, so I turned around and said, hey, hold on. And I said the person's name, and I said, hold on. So what are you saying? So you must think that I'm that way then. And they said, no, I don't think. And I said, well, what's different? I'm African. Mm-hmm. And they said, no, you're not. You're born in, you're born in Essex. And I said, no, but that's got nothing to do with, that's not got nothing to do with what you said. Why do you perceive that person different to me? But I realized then, and I saw that at work, what was happening was, because they felt like because I was born here and I can be a chameleon in a sense, I can talk like that with them, and I can also talk like that, and then I can also talk like, what are you doing? I can switch into. So then they thought, oh, well, she's one of us, and they looked at the other person, because she has an accent from where she comes from, as though she's less. Do you get what I mean? And I just thought, and there are black people who think like that as well. They think because they were born here, and because they sound English, that they are better than the person that was born in the same country as them, but has an accent. So I think that in itself needs to also be addressed, because I always say, it just so happens that your parent decided to come to England. That's why you're born here. No, you would be the same as that person that you're laughing at or looking at, in that respect. So.